Good afternoon, everybody. Tiffany, Dragonflyer Studio with you today. I am a day late. I'm on vacation from work this week, and I know my videos are usually come out on Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. However, yesterday being Wednesday, I was floating around a lazy river, enjoying the day and enjoying my vacation. So I do apologize for being a day late, but I am here now. I hope you all are with me and get a chance to see what we're going to do today. This is episode 11 on how to make a junk journal, and we have covered quite a bit of ground today. I thought I would show you guys how to make some decorated paper clips. I know we've got lots of ways, lots of removable ephemera, ways to take things out and write on them and then place them back in. But what if, not every page can have a pocket, not every page can have a tuck. They can, by all means. If you want to put one on every page, you go to town. I am not here to judge. However, another way to add some storage capabilities without adding a lot of bulk right up front is to make some see my tan line? Does everybody see that beautifulness? Yes. That's how you know I was on the river yesterday. Got a little much sun. Sorry, squirrel. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make, I'm probably going to do, since this guy really only has 2 signatures, we'll probably do, if we have enough time, about 4 paper clips for this guy. Now you could make ones, just like I said, go to town. It's your journal. You make whatever you're comfortable with. So I'm just going to show you the ins and outs of how to do some of these. I just use regular metal paper clips. I'm sure you could probably, you know what? I actually have some. I have some plastic ones. I wonder if those would work. I don't know about the plastic coating. Why don't we give one a try? I usually use the metal ones just because the plastic ones are a little bit thicker due to their plastic coating that's on the outside. The paper clip itself is a little more thick. All right, so materials. We're just going to go over this real quick. Paper clips. I use washi tape as a securing mechanism. It doesn't have to be fancy because you're not going to see it. At least not the washi tape that I particularly pick and use. So we're just gonna go with that. Okay, and then if you're like me, you probably have a bin that looks like this, some things that you've been playing around with, maybe some punches you've done, or things of that nature. So I'm just gonna pick out some stuff. I reuse these. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but these little silicone packets, if you've done anything with, hold on, let me find a piece. If you've done anything with Mod Podge, Mod Podge will attract moisture to the item at hand. So if you have 2 pieces of somethings that have been Mod Podged, the chances of them getting together this way and sticking are pretty good. So if you find these little silicone packets that come in, oh goodness, clothing and electronics and just all kinds of, they're just these little silica gels. They usually say do not eat. Grab those, stick them in whatever container that you have items with Mod Podge on it, and it maintains the moisture. It keeps the pieces from sticking together, is what I have found. So there's a little handy trick for you. So I'm just going to grab some things that I've punched out, no rhyme or reason. A couple of circles, maybe we could do something with that. That is my faux rice paper glued onto a piece of cardstock. Maybe we can figure out a way to do something like that. So here, this is kind of the idea that we're going with. So this just would go and, clip onto, let's find a blank page. This would just go and clip onto the page, and then say this is the postcard that you want to keep. You can just slide it right underneath of there, and then the whole thing can come off, and you can read this or write on it or share it with somebody or whatever. And then if you want to put it back in, this just slides back on there. So yes, you could just use a regular paper clip, no harm, no foul. But if you can make it pretty, why not make it pretty? So there you go. That's kind of what we're going for today. I'm going to show you a couple of different alterations and techniques on this. Was trying to find, I thought I had more of these cut out, which I don't, but that's okay. We got 2 circles and a rectangle, and ooh, why don't we use that? Okay, so we're gonna put that drawer away. Might come back to it, might not, who knows. All right, so we're just going to get started here. So what I will be using today as far as adhesives is a little bit of Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix, whichever one you want to use is fine, and my Scotch Create glue stick. I'm just kind of getting all my materials out because it can go a little quicker if you're a little more prepared. And then I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper. This is an old piece of Atlas. What you want to do, these things here that I have can be genuinely old and antique. The first thing I'm going to show you, the piece of paper that I'm working with here, while this is an old Atlas, it's not old paper. It is not brittle. I can fold it and ripple it and the edges here don't crack. Don't do what I'm about to do with genuinely antique paper, because the paper, if it's fragile, will just plain fall apart on you. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a paper clip, and you just kind of want to play around with it. You know, paper clips have a tendency to do that right there. This outside piece will be on the inside. So I just kind of play around and bend it until it kind of wants to keep its shape where it's flat. Okay, it makes it a little bit easier. So we're just going to start with this paper here. Okay, and all I'm doing is wrapping it around the outside edge of the paper clip. Now what you want to do is make sure that at least a little piece of your paper clip is sticking out the top. And I'm just going to fold this over, trying to keep it as straight as possible, which I have not done there. There we go. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. Now, a little trick, a little handy dandy something that I've figured out is to bring your bone folder and run it along the edge, because the paper will take on the thickness of your paper clip. And you want to try and wrap it as tightly as you can. Don't be worried about that little edge down there. And I wrap it around about 2, maybe 3 times. Okay, and then what we're going to do is very gingerly, very carefully, watch those fingers. We're just going to cut this off here. Okay, and we're going to come back, unwrap it, pull your paper clip up enough where you can get a hold of the little guy, rewrap that paper down, make sure that you follow those grooves that you've already created. Come in with your scissors and you're going to cut just a little bit off of this outer edge. Don't cut all the way back over to here, because what you do is you want a little flap, and that flap is what we're going to glue down. I use my silicone glue for this because I want a nice, good, strong bond. I really need to refill this bottle. It doesn't want to come out. Okay. Make sure it goes all the way to the edges. Doesn't take a lot. And then you're just going to fold that over and hold it in place and let that glue get a chance to grab. Okay. Okay, once you know the glue has grabbed, you want to make sure that your paper clip comes in and out pretty easily. Okay. Now, the smaller part of your paper clip is what you want on the outside of the little roll that we've made. Okay, so already this is a hidden paper clip. I could stick a little cluster on here and bam, quick and easy, super easy to make. What you want to make sure is, and you can have the bottom of the paper clip stick out here. It's whatever your preference is. I prefer all of mine to be covered, because when you are, we're going to pretend this is my page, so I don't have to keep flipping open green eggs and ham here. If this is your page, if this whole piece is covered here, it's easier to push it open and slide it on. Whereas if it's sticking out the bottom, if your paper edge was up here and your paper clip is sticking out the bottom, you're eventually going to start wearing this tube down. I'm not even on camera. You're eventually going to start wearing this tube down if the paper was cut up to here and the bottom of your paper clip stuck out, so that whenever you're doing this, you're going to go bam bam and you're going to be hitting that paper, and it will destroy your little covered paper clip eventually. Okay, so that's why I make sure that the edge of this paper comes down below my paper clip. Okay, so now that we have that going on, we can finish decorating the front of this. And you know what? My idea of making a little cluster clip is actually a pretty good one. We could actually go pretty easily. Oh, look at that. That's super cute. Okay, so these are just little clusters that I make up ahead of time. You can do them too. I could probably do a little short how-to in case you are intimidated with clusters, as I know some beginners are. There's lots of terms and things that you may see some of us use, and you're like, well, how do I do that? So I just smushed my paper clip down. That holds my little cluster together. And keeping in mind that this is technically up, I'm just going to come in and I think I'm going to attach that like so. But before I do, we're gonna jazz this side up a little bit. How about that? So what if we come in with, and this may not have any ink in it whatsoever. These were given to me by a good friend. She cleaned out a craft room and she thought of me. So why don't we grab a piece of scrap paper here and see what we get. Oh yeah, see, hard as a rock that one is. Maybe they all are, I don't know. I hope not. They're really cool. They're metallic in nature. This one's bronze, copper. Oh, that one's at least soft. Ooh, look at that. I don't know if these are water-based or oil-based. I'll do a little research and see. Oh, it's pigment ink, so I can't use water with it at all. But it does have a little bit of, I don't know if you can see that on camera, it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. So I was thinking, what if we just come in here like so, and just give it a little pigment. I'm bummed that that one's all dried up. I wonder if, is that the dried one? Yeah, that, oh man, that is hard. I don't know if I could bring those back or not. Oh yeah, that one's dry too. Alright, well, good to know. Okay, so then I'm just going to come in here with my felt tip. And we're just going to give this guy a little flower. Doesn't have to be a Picasso. You know, you could use a stamp, you could bust out your watercolors, you know, however you want to embellish your items is totally up to you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to come in and I'm going to glue this so that the tip of this comes just below the paper edge of my embellishment. Okay. And I'm not going to be stingy with the glue on this because this is a removable piece that's going to get potentially a lot of wear and tear, being pulled on and off of items that are, you know, being held or secured in the junk journal. So I'm just going to make that as straight as I can, and then just push and hold and give that glue a chance to grab. And no, it's not much to look at. These don't have to be you know, they don't have to be exorbitantly decorated or anything like that, but now that we have this little guy going on, and we go, say in here, where was that page I was working on? Right here. Okay, so if this little guy is clipped onto there, it adds just, you know, this might just be notes that someone has taken or clipped on a note card to it or whatever. But rather than it just being an industrial paper clip hanging out there, it now becomes a little bit of a piece of art of the junk journal itself. So yeah, and then on the other side, you also have a paper clip that you could use to hold, you know, whatever it is that you want. So one side is decorated, one side is not. All right, so there's our first one. Alright, so let's move on. I'll show you another way to do another decorated paper clip. I have a couple of different techniques that I use. I'll show you how to do one where the paper is folded, so that it really is, it's kind of a double-sided cover. Again, you're only going to use one side of it because, you know, you have to put it over the piece of paper to hold on whatever it is you're clipping it onto. So what we're going to do is, you know, this is what happens when you craft live with me. Never know what you're going to get. Come like a box of chocolates. No, oh Lord. Maybe I got a little too much sun yesterday. Maybe. So I'm just going to come in here with my paper punch and punch out a circle from my little bookie there. So now I have kind of this number going on. Okay? So we're going to come in here with our paper clip, and this time the small piece is going to be on the inside, and I'm actually going to leave a little bit of the paper clip sticking up on the outside, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. Okay. Okay, so this is where your washi tape comes in handy. You're just going to take a small piece of washi tape, and we are going to semi-secure this in here. You want to make sure that the middle piece of that washi tape gets pushed down to whatever item it is that you've got your tape on. Okay, that's what that's going to look like. Okay, and then what we're going to do is eventually we're going to fold this over, glue around the inside edge, and then you've created a little pocket for your paper clip. Now this paper clip, I have plans to be a paper clip that clips onto the, let me get another page, that's going to be clipped onto the side. Okay, so we're going to create a decorated paper clip with a dangle, so that when the book is closed, it will stick out somewhat like that, and then there will be a pretty little dangle that hangs off the edge of that. Okay, so there's that. So we're gonna flip this open, and I'm gonna try and find something, some little pretty something. Maybe I've got some little paper flowers here. Let's see what we can find to decorate that up with. Oh, I like that. Maybe. Oh, it's kind of glued to itself. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, maybe we like that. What if we like that with, oh, if that was a different color, that'd be great. Do we like that with that in the middle? No, I do not. Oh, what about this? Oh, I kind of like that. Yeah, what if we do that? And then look, I've got these little leaves. I don't know where they came from, but I could put one back there. Do I have another leaf? Oh, I do. Oh, these were originally twisted together. Okay. Sorry guys, kind of talking to myself here. If you've watched enough of these videos, you know what to expect whenever you get busy. Whenever I get busy mid-craft, to talk to myself. Sometimes I get silent. I don't want to clip those others apart just yet. But I like the idea of giving that little leaf sticking out there. Maybe. It doesn't want to stay. So yeah, with the little gem in the middle. Oh yeah, I like that. I think that's very pretty. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna take all these little guys, put them back in the jar. Found these at estate sales, yard sales, craft fairs, you name it. Anytime you can pick up little trinkets like that, I just, you know, put them in a little jar and they sit up here on my shelf in front of me. Okay, so this has some little stringy bits that I'm gonna take care of. I just don't want them to keep it from, oh, I actually think it's supposed to go that way. Oh, it is. Yeah, look, this one actually has, I think, a front and a back. The leaves all curl that way, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is a little piece of fabric flower, so Fabri-Tac is definitely going to come in here, or Fabri-Fix, either one is going to come in handy here, because we are gluing fabric to paper. And again, you just want a nice secure bond on these, because they are something that potentially, you know, being pulled on and off, wear and tear is going to be a thing. So, and then this guy has a little, looks like a metal, I don't know, I don't want to say rod. It's got a little piece of metal boning or whatever down the middle of it to give the leaf its look. So I'm just gonna come in here and kind of put this underneath behind, so it kind of does a little poke out thing. Make sure that's pushed on there. And I might tack those leaves down. I might leave them up. I don't know. I don't know if they'll get folded in half or whatnot once it's put onto its page. Alright, and then we're just going to tack this little gem down in place in the middle of it. I'm just going to come in here with the tiniest bit of glue. What I don't want to do is, I'm not looking to glue these leaves down flat. I just want to tack them in place so that they don't get folded back and forth once they're in use, so to speak, on the clip. I like the 3D texture that this gives it. So there we go. We have that. So now we're going to come in here. Oh, I got to give that glue a little bit of time to grab. It's gluing down more than just its regular paper to paper stuff. And sometimes the Fabrifix doesn't want to hold these gems on, and that is when I bring out the big guns, my E6000 glue. It does have a bit of a fume problem, so if you purchase it, be aware that ventilation is important. I don't want anybody getting a headache or lightheaded or sick or anything from that. I mean, it says it right on there, and I know y'all can read, but that's just my little PSA to everybody. E6000 is great glue. It will hold just about anything to anything else. Okay, so now I'm just going to push this down together, make sure that all the edges get a good seal. Okay, and we have that little bit of a paper clip hanging out there, and we're gonna make a little dangle for it. So I just have some little paper beads here that I've made up ahead of time, not particularly for this project, just playing around and doing my own thing. Oh, I kind of like that. What do we think? Does that kind of go? That one's a little too long. That one's a little too long. Try not to go with something too awful big. But I was hoping I had one that was made up ahead of time. This is really the only one I've got. Oh, that would look pretty on there, wouldn't it? Can everybody see that little paper bead? That would look pretty with the greens. Okay, so maybe we make one of our own. How about that? Living on the wild side. I love it. Okay, so this will be a little tutorial in dangle making as well. How about that? 2 for 1. Okay. So what I'm going to get out is just a few things that I use. I know this can be a little intimidating, but please keep in mind, for those beginners that are with me, just starting out or just beginning this whole process, the things that you see me have, I've not had forever. I've been doing this not necessarily junk journaling all my life, but bead making, paper crafting, all of this stuff I have built up over a lifetime. So don't feel that you need to rush out. If you've got some old jewelry, like this is what I started out with, genuinely. I would take old jewelry and break it apart, and those are the pieces that I would use. And that's, anybody who's watching, that's what I suggest you do too. Now some of this stuff has been purchased specifically for certain craft items, things like that. So don't get overwhelmed with the things that you see me do. I am going to use some green beading wire. Woo! Always does that every time. Okay, so we're just going to come in here, and where are my little pliers? Nope, and nope, wrong ones. I'll get it together yet, guys, I promise. I'm just going to come in here and cut some wire. I say cut some wire. There we go. And then roll this back up and put that away. Okay, so there's my beading wire. Alright, now give me just a second. Let me get a little lobster claw hooky thing. That's right, those are the technical terms right here, right now. Lobster claw hooky thing. Oh, you guys. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. I've enjoyed my vacation, but, you know, sometimes. Okay, and where did they go? See, this is why you got to plan ahead, because sometimes you think you know where stuff is at, and you don't. Hold on. Bear with me, fellas. Ladies, gentlemen, fellas. Audience. Is it really going to be in the last one of these that I check? Well, now I'm a little worried. I can't find them at all. Alright, I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I found them. So what I have here is I've just got a little lobster, I call it a lobster claw. It's just a jewelry hook and a jump ring. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this little guy. He's just a little teardrop bead. And I'm going to put my wire through there. And I'm just going to do this wonderful little twisting maneuver to attach him to that wire. Nothing spectacular going on there. And then I'm going to come in with my little paper bead and put it on the wire. Okay, so we have something that looks like that. Okay, and what I want to do is I actually want to create just a little bit more what's the dimension, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So I think maybe we'll come in here with, I think this would be cute, a little silver daisy, since we've got a flower on there. That will be adorable. And then that'll be our little topper on top of the bead. So we'll just go in and we'll just drop that onto the wire like, well, I say like so. Okay, so there we have that. So now I add my lobster claw, and I'm just going to bring this wire back down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it back through my daisy. Okay, and I'm going to pull it down somewhat tight. This is where your jewelry pliers come in handy. I'm going to grab that wire. I'm going to hang on to the daisy bead because it's the topmost bead, and I'm just going to pull until, see it start to shrink? I'm just closing the gap on everybody until the daisy's almost sitting right on top of my paper bead. And then I'm just going to wind this up. And then come in with my clippers. Try and get it where you can see it. And I'm just going to clip that end off as best I can. And then use your needle nose pliers, because what you don't want is, nope, that's not going to work. What you don't want is that little metal wire piece. I don't know if you can see that very well. You don't want that little metal wire piece sticking out, because let me tell you, when you're least expecting it, it will slice your finger open. Okay, and there is our little dangle. Okay, and then this little guy will just clip right onto the end of our paper clip like so. So now we have a decorated paper clip and a little removable dangle that could be taken off of there and added to, well, whatever you see fit. If you're decorating a postcard or something like that, you could take that little dangle and put it on there. Okay, so there's that. So we'll go ahead and clip this one in. I like that blue page. So this one just gets clipped in like so, and it can be pushed all the way on there, at least enough room. And then the dangle hangs outside the edge of the journal like that. So now Green Eggs and Ham has himself a little paper clip with a dangle on it. Alright, didn't need the jump ring. Thought I was gonna, but I didn't. So sometimes that happens. Okay, so you know what? I think I'm going to switch out the yellow paper clip for a green paper clip. You know, green eggs and ham and whatnot. How are we doing on time? We're 30 minutes. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is going to be a pretty easy one. Let's see. We're going to make another side clip for this one. I'm just, like I said, just finagling it so that it wants to lay flat. It doesn't want to pop up over itself. Okay, and we're going to use this piece of Atlas, I think. Or actually, no. Let's get something a little more fun, a little more colorful. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, excuse me. Sneeze, you know, comes at the most opportunistic times. Oh, there's a pretty color. Okay. So, we've got a piece of paper here. What we're going for, I'm going to leave this torn edge. You can cut it off straight if you want to, but what I'm looking for is a piece of paper that is going to fit inside that paper clip. Okay, so this is a little too wide here, so I'm just going to come, because I want to keep the torn edge. I like the way that that looks right now. I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm just going to cut off about, oh, I don't know, we're eyeballing it, so I'm going to say about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little less than 1/4 of an inch. There we go. Okay, and what I'm trying to do is I'm working on the edge of the paper clip that doesn't have the little short piece. Okay, because that's the side that I need to not be gluing anything to. Okay, so there we go. So it fits pretty well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to fold this down like so. And I call these pennant clips because it reminds me of like a baseball pennant once we're all done with it. Okay, so that's all you're going to have to do right there. And you can make these as long or as short as you want. Now, that being said, if you make it longer than your book is, it's going to either hang out the bottom or you'll need to measure it so that it doesn't. Okay, so this is perfectly fine for me. I think that's a wonderful length. I'm not gonna cut anything off the bottom of it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull that back out. Now that we know where our crease is, we're gonna keep that in mind as we're decorating this. Okay, and the little paper clip's just gonna sit to the side, and we're gonna get a little creative. So I really like this butterfly. I think it's got some prettiness to it that I really like. And let's see, what else can I find? I am just hunting on my table. You will find that a lot of the stuff that I embellish my journals with come from scraps from other projects that I've worked on. And I encourage you to do that as well. Ooh, we have some shimmery flowers here that I really like. I think that butterfly would like them too. So what if we just do this number? And that's how you get scraps right there. You just start tearing stuff up. So I think I'm going to come in here and put this down like so. Yeah. And then I'm just going for, I just want it to hang over that bottom edge a little bit. So I'm doing a little bit of layering as I embellish this this paper clip out. I think I have, now this is a stamp that has been embossed, so you notice it's shiny, on a piece of wallpaper. Wallpaper, sometimes it will take ink pretty well, sometimes it won't. So I'm going to add a piece of, or some green distress ink to the edge of this. I don't know if it'll stay. You may see it rub off with my fingers. Oh, it's not going to be too bad. Nope. So yeah, if it rubs off, that's okay. I just wanted to give that circle a little framing of its own. Okay, so we have that going on there. I like that. Do we want the, ooh, what if the circle hangs over the other side? Yeah, yep. That's a good one. Okay, so there's that. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so I think we're just gonna go with that. These don't, like I said, these don't have to be super embellished. I think the simpler that they are, you know, they don't take away from a piece of artwork that they might be holding in place, or a letter from a loved one, you know, whatever have you. And I'm just using glue stick on these because it's just paper to paper. The wallpaper takes to the glue stick really well. I haven't had any problem with my projects falling apart or sticking together, so to speak. So yeah. Alright, so then we're just going to go back to our paper clip. And again, you want the side that's away from the half piece that's on the other side. Just going to take it to our crease. I'm going to fold this over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this away here so that I don't have it sticking out over here. That's just a me thing. Okay, now for this flap, I am going to use my silicone glue because this flap is the part that has to hold the whole thing together when I start pulling it on and off a page. Doesn't take much, but the silicone glue does offer a little bit, and I make sure that the silicone glue gets on the paper clip so that the paper clip is actually glued to the paper somewhat, you know. So there is paper clip number 3. Okay, let's go find signature number 2 and see where we can put this guy. I think maybe right there on signature page number 1, or signature 2 page number 1. Oh no, see what I did? Okay, so I was expecting it to be on this side, but no harm, no foul. This is going to go on the left hand side of the page because of where and how I glued the paper. So there we go, and then he just hangs on there like so. And then the paper clip can hold, you know, like I said, if this was a postcard or what have you. Actually, like that, I think I'm going to leave that little tag right there. So yeah, there you go. There's that paper clip option. Okay. All right. So last but not least, we've got to have, I'm just making 4 because I have 2 signatures. So I figured 2 paper clips for each signature was a good idea, or a good way to go. Okay. So we're going to make another wrapped paper clip. In case you missed the first one or are curious. Okay, you just want a piece of paper that's a little bit longer, and then I just start with my paper clip sticking out. Okay, you want to fold this over, give yourself a little edge to work with, a little resistance there. I come in with my bone folder and just kind of bend that paper around that paper clip, and then you want to go 1, 2, 3 folds. Okay, and then come in here, I cut it off even, and then I come back, lift that flap up, and I cut half of it, about half of it off. I come in with my silicone glue, and Christmas will be here before it decides to come out the tube. And I hit it with some silicone glue, smush it together, give that glue a chance to hold, and then I make sure, oh no, see what I did? I pushed it all the way down in there. There we go. And then I want to make sure that the paper clip didn't get glued into place, which sometimes happens. We gotta cut the whole thing apart and start over. Okay, so once the glue has set and you know you have your little tube, and that's what that looks like, you're going to put the biggest part of the paper clip down inside, because that's what we measured for, was the big part of the paper clip. And then these I push all the way down. I have yet to make any of these, I think, a dangle on the side. I usually do my my foldovers with a tab sticking out. These ones I really like to do from the tops of the pages. They work, for me anyway, they work really well. Okay, so we've just got this little pre-punched circle with yeah, that's part of my rice paper. I think that's a letter P, or I'm not sure. Whatever. So I'm just going to come in and distress the edge of this. And you could decorate these up however you want. This is a 2-inch hole punch if you're curious about the size of that. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this one really simple. And let me dig out some ribbon. Actually, no. What? Here's some ribbon. I think this will look pretty. Okay, we're going to cut this in half. And then we're just going to take this. Maybe. Sorry, guys. My glue bottle needs refilled. Can you tell? And I'm just putting glue down. I know what I want this to look like when it's all finished, so I just put the glue where I need it. I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to come back in and hit the underneath side of this with some glue. Give that fabric a second to set. This is just a plain old piece of ribbon I had laying here on my table. I was working with ribbon earlier today. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to glue that on. Oop, stringies. Glue that on a little sideways. I want that up a little more. Fabrifix does set pretty quickly, but it gives you a couple of seconds to kind of move stuff around. And then I've got these little, I guess we'll call them faux pearl halves. I'm not sure. I'm just going to grab some of them. This one's a little more antique style paper clip rather than funky and flowery, but that's okay. I'm just going to take these and lay them down on the edge of my circle. There we go. Make sure that silicone glue has had a chance to attach. I don't think, yeah, there's not much. There's not much on this side. That's okay. How are we doing on time? Oh, almost at 45 minutes. All right. So as we're winding down here and finishing out this tag, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has joined my channel. I am so happy you guys are here, really. I enjoy doing this with you guys. I enjoy you guys watching it. The comments that you're leaving. I've learned so much from y'all. It is great. I'm learning new uses for Mod Podge. Who knew? So yeah, so thank you. Keep them coming. If I get enough questions, I might do like a Q&A where I answer them. You know, I'll do a little video where I answer them for you guys. So that might be fun to do. I am trying to figure out a way to do an Etsy shop or some way to get my stuff out there for sale. If anybody's interested in buying anything, I do have one journal for sale right now. His name is Mr. Sunshine. He has his own video flip through. If you'd like to go check it out, please do so. You can send me an email, dragonflyerstudios@gmail.com, if you're interested in purchasing him. Right now, that's the only way I have to sell stuff, because I just don't have enough catalog of things built up for purchase, but I'm working on it. So, but for right now, I'm just interested in having fun with this. If I can sell these things and move them out to people who will appreciate them and enjoy them, then that would be great. And if not, that's all right. I don't mind them sitting here decorating my shelves either. There we go. Okay, so now let's find a page for this guy to live on. Ooh, what about here? All right, so then he just slips right on there, and there we have it. So we've got 4 little decorated paper clips. We've got this guy who's pretty plain, pretty simple. We've got a little fancy with our side clip and our dangle. And then we've got our, where'd he go? We've got our, I call this a pennant paper clip because it looks like a pennant hanging down. And then we've got our top clip with our, where'd he go? Oh, for the love of Pete. There he is. All right, so there we go. We've got 4 paper clips in there. A wonderful way to add some storage and some beauty to your junk journals, and not too much thickness added to him there. At least not until you start clipping things under those paper clips. But yeah, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for watching and being here. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. I've got lots more content coming for you. I am experimenting with new things that I want to teach everybody and show everybody. But otherwise, just hit that like button, give me a share, and otherwise, I am so appreciative of all of you guys being here. This is Tiffany from Dragonflower Studio. Until next time, bye.